And welcome back to Overtime, everybody, where, as you can see, it's been a minute, but I am joined by the Hall of Famer, Matt Schuckman, who, as we speak, is in the process of reinventing himself. This is a man, and he's too humble to say it, but who has won nearly every award you can win in the newspaper business. But Matt Schuckman is moving on now. He is becoming the sports editor for the new startup, which is Muddy River Sports,
right?
Which I believe starts August the 16th.
Which is Monday.
But don't wait till then to join them on the socials, because Matt has been putting out great content on the social media. Again, a phenomenal article with Alex McCullough from his travels to Pittsburgh for the U.S. Amateur. So great work there.
Thank you. He was great. He's, you know, the beautiful thing about this is, even though it's a new entity for me, a new platform for myself and for our company, it's still me doing it. It's still the people I've made connections with, like an Alex McCullough, like a Logan Voth, who I wrote about this week. I'll have stories coming up next week on a couple of maybe Division I recruits in our area and how their summers went and things like that. And it's, so the relationships are there, and that allows us to produce the kind of high quality content that we want to provide.
And you're also free to me now, which selfishly I've wanted for years, because we get to do pigskin prognostication, which we haven't done in forever.
You know what, walking back in here, it feels like being home in a sense, because we've done this before. It's just been a long time.
It's been years, but we get to do it now. And we're going to start with a macro view of football in the area, Matt, because I want you to take your family fortune, and I want you to put it betting down on the team you think that's going to be the last team standing. So who is it, and why is it the Hannibal Pirates?
Because they have everything, you know, and yeah, you made it real easy on me there. Didn't give me much options, even though you knew what I was going to say.
Exactly.
But they have everything. They've got a Division I recruit who is a high-level athlete who, I don't know if we're going to see a better player in the area the next 3 years. They have an experienced quarterback who probably runs an offense better than anyone in the area. They've got a Division I potential left tackle, along with some other guys up front. They've got a returning all-state safety, a defensive end who is, I think, is very high quality, some young linebackers who made a real impact last year as sophomores in Ashton Watts. So I'm looking at it going, where's the hole? What's missing that's going to keep them from doing something special? And I don't see it, because even though we're going through a coaching change in America's hometown, it's a coach who's been part of the program, and Jeff Gishwinder. So there's no adjustment per se. They're going to run the same offense because he was the offensive coordinator. The same defensive coaches are there for the most part. So the defense will get tweaked some, but it's not going to be an overhaul. I don't see what's missing. Do you?
No, and you said it was the everything else, and I know we all get Aeneas myopia because he's fabulous to watch, but it is the little things that you pointed out. I'll point out this. I went down to that Troy scrimmage that they had, and Cortland Watson was playing cornerback with a C, and he broke on the ball twice as fast and violently as anybody I saw.
No question.
And you go back, and I asked Jamie Hoskins, is this a thing? And he's like, well, no, QB1, but situationally, this is your extra defensive back.
Well,
who combats that?
Well, look at it this way. Look at Quincy High a few years ago. When they needed an extra defensive back, who stepped in? Jyrell Brock. It's the same sort of different level of athlete. If you wanted to compare athlete to athlete, that would be Aeneas and Jyrell.
Sure.
But the same kind of thought process, the same kind of impact. And I know I'm biased in this sense, and I don't have a problem saying it, but my favorite player on that team, the guy I think is going to be a huge impact, is Kaiser Greenwell. I just think he makes so many big plays and flies around to the ball. And that's no disrespect to any of these other guys. I just think he has an X factor to him.
He is, and he's a pole vaulter, so he's a little crazy, which we love. I feel kind of the same way about Brady Zimmerman. And Caden Silly with the up here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just, those are great kids.
They are, and they deserve this. They deserve the opportunity to make a run, because they've been so close. Hannibal's been so close in recent memory. Can they get over that hump? Can they get over that quarterfinal hump and really have people go, okay, they're going to play for a title? Last year, I thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to get over that hump. Didn't quite get there. This could be the year.
So the softball is now out of the way for you. I'm going to make it hard on you now because I was polite bringing you back and gave you the easy question. Who's number 2? Because I think that gets really complicated.
That's an interesting question, because you start looking at who has what back. What pieces do teams bring back? What are they missing? Quincy Notre Dame, which had a phenomenal last couple of years, has a lot of pieces back, but they don't have the quarterback, an experienced quarterback. They don't have the experienced defensive ends like they've had in the past. I think you could push them in there. We need to see how they develop in certain spots. I think they're in that conversation. I think Palmyra will be in that conversation as well. I think if I had to start listing them, I'd probably put Palmyra number 2 right here out of the gate. But then you look at Monroe City. They've got a quarterback who's been there, who's done everything. They've got young kids who now have that extra year of experience. A Waylon DeGrave, who's a sophomore. You think, oh, he's a junior or senior. No, he's just a sophomore because as a freshman, he made big plays.
He did, and he's going to step right in for an All-Stater, and he looks All-State type good already.
Oh, and then there's another All-Stater in Pennywell who returns, who's only a junior. So, I mean, you look at them and it's like, okay, are they the team to beat in small school in Missouri? They might be. So I think the head-to-head of Palmyra Monroe City is going to be really intriguing this year, like it isn't ever.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of cases to be made on this side of the river. The one I'm intrigued by, and I have yet to go to a practice, I'm going to do that as we work on this, is Brown County.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by Brown County.
So Brown County and Monroe City are a little bit similar in that you have line questions. But when have Tommy Little and David Kirby not found linemen, even if they're 185 pounds, and made that work? So yes, I agree with you on that. I also will throw out there, just because I think it's interesting, I know there's a coaching change at North Shelby, but 3 returning All-Staters, 8-man football, and that's very quarterback-centric, and Cale Stoneburner's really good. So one more to just throw out there and talk about. You brought up Q&D, though, and I kind of want to go Gem City-centric with you for a second.
Sure.
Okay, so Q&D, obviously some big graduation losses.
Yes.
Quincy High School at the front end of a real youth movement right now.
Correct.
Quincy University, wonky spring, not much to read out of it, and not getting a lot of preseason accord. So if I'm a Quincy football fan, where am I on the ledge? Are you walking me back, or are you telling me to jump?
No, I think you walk back from the ledge, because I think Quincy Notre Dame is going to prove to people, even though it's got a unique schedule this year because they're an independent. They start off the season with Quincy at Quincy High, Rock Island Alleman week 2. Then you throw in a Marceline team, which okay, that's the first time you've seen something like that. And then they've got a couple traditional. You throw a Breeze Mater Day in there, and some you look at their schedule, but you go, they've got a Dalton Miller. Yeah. They've got a Zach Friedersdorf. Yeah. They've got a Ben Caspery. Yeah. They've got a Jack Gilliland. They've got a Jackson Stratton. They've got you just start throwing the names out there, and you go, wow, they've got a lot of athletes. Do they have the size up front? To me, that's the question, because you lose an Ethan Kite, you lose a Tyler Bertram, a Sam He. You had experienced linemen, which will help make that such a good unit, and you don't have a quarterback who has experience. You had Ike Wiley in there for so many years.
Right, and you just assumed it.
Right. Yeah. So can Calvin Lavery step in? If Calvin Lavery can't be it, does Jackson Stratton win that job? I think Calvin Lavery is going to be your starting quarterback. We'll see as we get closer to kickoff. I like his length. I like his knowledge. Watching him run the offense in practice so far seems very headstrong, very knowledgeable, and I like that. Go over to Quincy High, a lot of youth, a lot of athletes.
Oh, they have some speed.
And I think that's the thing, over the years, people always expect Quincy High to have athletes. Can they have the guys up front to block for them? Can they find that synergy up front? And then can they have multiple athletes beyond 1 or 2 that are going to carry the load? I think they have beyond 1 or 2 that carry the load. Jesus Johnson's going to be really good in the backfield. The quarterback situation, you got 3 guys battling. Who's going to win it?
Your junior, sophomore, and a freshman all going at it.
I know where I lie on that.
Yeah.
It may be different than some other people's opinions. Depends on how they come out of camp. But if I'm Rick Little, and I know a lot of people will go, well, that's his son, because Braden Little's the freshman. Son, here you go. Let's see how you do.
That's a tough spot
to
be in as a dad and as a coach.
Yes, but he's a freshman. Yeah. Can he handle Western Big Six? What if he gets beat up? How does he handle that moving forward into a sophomore, into a junior year? There's a lot of questions there. But with his raw ability and his knowledge of the game, I give him a shot and say, let's see how it rolls.
You talk quarterback. Is it that simple for QU finally figuring that out?
Well, they have to figure it out. They have a lot of other pieces they have to figure out. You got to remember, they scored 1 touchdown in 2 spring games. Now, granted, there were a lot of guys hurt.
Right.
They were playing against 2 of the best teams in the league. And you throw all that in there. But they scored 1 touchdown, and it came late in the 4th quarter of their second game when they were down 30-0.
Yeah.
So the offense didn't do much. When they played UIndy, I think they had 57 total yards. So, but guys are healthier now. Some of the guys that sat out in the spring. You also have experience up front. You have a Max Snell at one tackle and a B.J. Wilson at the other. Those are the linchpins of the offensive line. Now, can they find a quarterback to spread the ball to? They've got some transfers in at wide receiver. I think among the coaching staff, there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of good feelings of going, hey, we've got the right guys here to make it happen. Who's going to run the offense is what it comes down to.
We talk quarterbacks, and I want to end with you here today because I think this is, and you and I have had this discussion off air, quarterback is the Cadillac position in tri-state football this year, and you're nobody if you don't have one, and it seems like a lot of people have one. Who is it for you that's out there that maybe you're selling on, that maybe people haven't heard enough about? Is it a Drew Mallett? Is it a Tate Fullerton? I mean, there's a lot of really good ones out there for your consideration.
You mentioned one of them that I was going to bring up, and that was Tate Fullerton. I'm anxious to talk with him, to see him in action. I've yet to be at one of their practices. But I think he's got those intangibles.
He does.
To really make an impact. The guy, if you told me pick a quarterback in the area, he's your starter. Who cares who else you give me? But you pick him, it's Cortland Watson.
I'd almost go with that because I think he's got a better scenario. The only point I bring up with you is Mallett. Drew Mallett's faster, bigger. He's been more durable to this point. And you know what? He's got the same arm talent. So, I mean, I think those two are right here with each other.
What I think for me, if I was coaching what would separate them is the way Cortland Watson runs that offense, the way he handles it. So he's as talented as he is, 1,400 yards passing last year. And again, Drew Mallett threw the ball all over the place. And he has great receivers and all that. But I like the way Cortland Watson manages the offense, the way he thinks the game. To me, that's what sets him just a notch above some of the other guys. Now, face it, all of them can do the job.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're at a year where there's a lot of talent at that one position. There's a lot of talent at a lot of positions in our area. But that one position, you could just do a checklist down the line. Yep, I'd take him. Yep, I'd start him. Yep, I'd start him. So I don't think you could go wrong. But if you're asking me as a coach, pick one to be your starter. That's who I would go with.
This was fun.
This was great.
Let's do it again in 2 weeks. We'll bring Matt back in 2 weeks and talk some football. Again, Matt Schuckman, everybody. Great to have him here. And again, Muddy River Sports launching on August the 16th. Hey, we'll have more overtime. Lots of good stuff still your way coming up right after this.